So welcome everyone back to another video. In today's video, I am going to be picking my Premier League team of the season. Goalkeeper, midfielders, defenders, probably defenders should have come before midfielders. Goalkeeper, defenders, midfielders, and striker. Let's get into it. My goalkeeper is Alisson, because if he hadn't have been in goal for Liverpool this season, Liverpool might be 10th or 12th, because Alisson has been the saviour for Liverpool this season. He has been probably their best player, except from probably Salah or maybe Gakpo. But yeah, let's just say right now, Gakpo has not been Liverpool's best player this season. But I think if Alisson hadn't have been in goal this season for Liverpool, Liverpool might not be in 5th. Because Liverpool have had a really bad season, and if Alisson hadn't have been in goal, they just wouldn't be in 5th. And we could say that De Gea could get into the team, but Manchester United have come back a bit. They've been really good. He might have got into the team last season because he was basically, if he hadn't been in goal for them last season, they could have done even worse. But he doesn't get into the team this season. He's been a good goalkeeper this season, but not as good as Alisson, because Alisson's had quite a lot to do with Liverpool. You could say the same for Ederson, because he's in a Man City team where they just don't stop winning. And again, he's had a brilliant season too, but Man City have been, as a whole, Man City have been great as well. So, you could also say that Nick Pope deserves to be in this team. But I think another season at Newcastle maybe, and he might get in a team this season. But I think, obviously he's not been at Newcastle long. He's only been at Newcastle a season. So, I think, did he sign in January? I'm not sure. But, yeah, you could say a lot of goalkeepers should be in this team. But I think Alisson deserves to be in team of the season, because, I mean, this season, again, if he had not have been the goalkeeper for Liverpool this season, they would not be in 5th right now. They would not be in 5th. And, yeah, it's unlikely they would be in the top 4 chase if they had someone like Adrian in goal or someone. Or, yeah. That's why Alisson gets in the team this season, because they would be in probably 10th or 12th if they didn't have Alisson in goal this season. And there's Ruben Dias. Because without Cancelo, he's actually done better this season. Without Cancelo, with Cancelo being on loan at Bayern, Dias has actually done better in this team. And he's had a brilliant season altogether. And Dias is not only one of the best defenders in the world, he's one of the best defenders in the Premier League. And you could probably argue that he is the best defender in the league. Well, probably not the best defender in the league, but one of the best defenders in the league. And, yeah, he's had a brilliant season with Man City. Man City are brilliant anyway, but their defence has been particularly good. And that's why Man City are good as a team, because they've got good players. I mean, even when Haaland's not playing, Julian Alvarez as a backup striker is just absolutely brilliant. Like, Julian Alvarez was obviously meant to just be a backup striker. He's been absolutely brilliant for Man City this season, but obviously not as good as Haaland. But still brilliant. Julian Alvarez is still brilliant. But Ruben Dias, has had a great season. I'd go as far as saying, because he's done better without Cancelo, and I think most Man City fans would say that, because he, without Cancelo, has done better. He's obviously been with the likes of Kyle Walker, John Stones, also. So yeah, it's yeah, it's been a great season for Ruben Diaz, and yeah, that's why he gets into the team this season. Kieran Trippier. So he is in a Newcastle team who are currently fighting for UCL top 4 football, and he has had one of the best seasons a defender in the Premier League can have. He's just been great for Newcastle this season, and they signed him last season, and yeah, he was at Atletico before Newcastle, and he's been a brilliant player for Newcastle, and maybe one of the reasons why Newcastle are in a UCL position and could be on their way to winning a trophy next season. And Kieran Trippier is one of the best defenders in the Premier League, like Ruben Diaz, and he's probably going to be a Newcastle United hero when he leaves the club, because of how good he's been at the club, and season he's just been great in that Newcastle defence, and that's probably one of the reasons why they're not they could have been relegated last season, at the start of last season, but now they're third. No one would have expected that. I predicted them like 9th or 10th, but they're somehow third in a league where you've got Man City, you've got Man United, and that's brilliant for Newcastle. But Kieran Trippier has been a brilliant player, and that's why their defence is so good, and that's why they don't concede so many goals. William Saliba, he's just a fabulous player. He came from Marseille was he on loan at Marseille, I think? And then he's done a full season nearly at Arsenal. He's been injured for their last few games, and you can tell that they've really needed his help, because they've drawn to Southampton, they've drawn to Liverpool, they've drawn to West Ham, and also the Talent decided they lost 4-1 in, and you can clearly tell that they've needed Saliba's help, and they probably have needed his help this season, because he has been a rock in that defence this season. He's been a prolific player, he's been a brilliant player. Again, one of the best defenders in the league by far, and he will go on to be a fabulous player for Arsenal. He'll probably continue to be in that same starting 11 next season. And yeah, Saliba, you can tell they've missed him, because he's a brilliant defender, and if he was in that defence for the Man City game, the result might not have been the same as it was. But it's Man City, anything could happen when you play Man City. But yeah, Saliba is just a fabulous defender when it comes to playing big games, and I don't think they've had him for like 3 games now. I think they've had him for I don't think they've had him for like 3 games now because of injury. So yeah, it's going to be brilliant for Arsenal when they get him back in full fitness. So last one, Alexander Zinchenko. He came from Man City to Arsenal at the start of the season, and my gosh, he has been a wonderful, wonderful player. He is one of the players that, like Saliba, it's just a season-defining signing, and I think he should get more game time in that team, and that's probably why they've been They've not had great form, Arsenal, of recent because of not having Saliba and Zinchenko in that team. But that that is a strength for the defence with Zinchenko and both Saliba in the team because they both are a massive rock in that team. And I think have they both had injuries? I think Zinchenko played their last game against Chelsea, but I think I don't know. Has Zinchenko been injured or has he been playing? I'm not sure. But Saliba has been injured. Well, Zinchenko has been a defensive rock this season, and you can tell why he played for Man City for that long. And I think other clubs will want to pick him up in late down the line in the future. Um, and when Arsenal do eventually win that title, he will have another title to add to his name, and that'll be a brilliant achievement for him. And I think he probably will get another title soon. Whether it's with Arsenal or not is a different question. But Zinchenko is one day to probably win the Champions League as well. He wasn't able to do that at Man City, but whether he does it at Arsenal or not, Arsenal are basically guaranteed to be in the Champions League next season. It's doubtful that they're going to get to the Champions League final, but they've got a good chance. And if they do, Zinchenko could have a Champions League trophy by 2025. Midfield now, Ødegaard. If you watched the Arsenal-Chelsea game on Tuesday, he scored two fabulous goals, basically copies of each other, carbon copies of each other, and Ødegaard was signed from Real Madrid in 2021 and now starts full-time in the Arsenal squad, and he is basically he is a great midfielder, and he has been getting some of Arsenal's goals this season, and he has been making some great passes to secure wins, and I think he should get into the team this season because he has been a great player for Arsenal over the course of the season, scoring brilliant goals, and he scored a vital goal in the 2-2 draw to West Ham, and I think if he hadn't have scored those two goals at the start of the game, West Ham could have easily won that game, and he's just been a vital player for Arsenal this season, scoring vital goals like the ones against West Ham, scoring two goals against Chelsea on Tuesday, and what fabulous goals they were as well. And he's just been playing like not like Kevin De Bruyne, but he will get to Kevin De Bruyne status one day. And yeah, Martin Ødegaard probably should get in the team this season because of how good he's been this season. Alexis Mac Allister. Yeah. He's a World Cup winner. One of the best midfielders in the Premier League. And yeah. He is a fabulous midfielder. Could be signed by Chelsea, Manchester United or Liverpool. And he is a brilliant player. He's now a World Cup winner, playing for Brighton. And I think it's not going to be long before someone signs him from Brighton. Brighton are meanwhile chasing European football, maybe Europa League or maybe even the Champions League. It's very unlikely that they'll get Champions League. Could get Europa Conference League though, but they are chasing European football. And Mac Allister has been a rock in that midfield role this season because he has been a brilliant player for them. Again, no one knew about him until the World Cup, and then he's just started to be a fabulous player. He's scored in some vital games this season. He's been a brilliant player, and that's why he plays for Brighton week in, week out. I think he I think he played in this 6-0 win to Wolves. Did he score? I'm not sure. Um, but he played in the. I think he did play in the 6-0 win to Wolves. But he's just been a brilliant footballer, a brilliant player, and one of the best midfielders in the whole Premier League. Maybe in the future, one of the best midfielders in the world. Maybe in the future, a bit more, the best midfielder in the world. Kaoru Mitoma. Wow. Mitoma is like McAllister. Wow, where do I start? I mean, he is a fabulous player, for starters. He scored quite a few goals this season. He's one of the best Japanese footballers in the world. Yeah, he's just a brilliant footballer. I mean, if you take a look at Kaoru Mitoma's football, it's just brilliant. That's why, again, he plays for Brighton week in, week out. He's just a brilliant footballer, and I can see him definitely one day being signed by Barcelona or Real Madrid or um or PSG maybe. Like, did he go to the World Cup? I'm not sure. Did he go to the World Cup with Japan? I'm not sure if he went to the World Cup or not, but he's still a wonderful player either way, and that just goes to show with his footballing ability throughout the season, and he's probably going to be one of the best footballers to come in future seasons. But, like, there's a lot of pressure on a player like Mitoma because of how good he is. Teams want to sign him and everything, but he probably gets into the team of the season, and because of how good of a midfielder he's been for Brighton this season, probably partially why they're chasing European football because of how good Mitoma's been this season. But yeah, I think Mitoma should get into the tops. Number one striker, Premier League record breaker, Erling Haaland. There's not much to say because of how good this player is. He's scored 35 goals now in the Premier League. He's just a brilliant player. He's probably in everyone's team of the season. He's a prolific player, quite fast on the ball. He's one of these players where he's going to win a Ballon d'Or one day. He's probably got in the Premier League team of the season already. He's won the Golden Boot. No one's going to catch him up now. He's probably won the Premier League as well with Man City. He probably won the Champions League as well and the FA Cup. He's probably done the treble with Man City in his first season. What a debut season this player's had. He scored on his debut. Not many people do that. If you're at Man City, maybe they do. But not many people do that. Not many people score on their debut game in their debut season. Yeah, he's just a fabulous player. That's why he gets into my team of the season. Yeah. Erling Braut Haaland, number one striker in my team of the season. Fabulous player. Yeah. Erling Haaland, my striker in team of the season. So for the left winger, I've gone with Mohamed Salah. He's a brilliant footballer, has been a brilliant footballer for Liverpool this season. He's been a brilliant footballer for the past few seasons now, and this season he's got goals for Liverpool when they've needed it, and he's just a brilliant footballer. I think he will continue to keep doing what he's doing, and this is why he is in team of the season, because he's a brilliant footballer, and you can't argue with Mohamed Salah not being in team of the season because he needs to be in team this season. Like Alisson, if he hadn't been in the team this season, maybe Liverpool wouldn't have done as well as they have done near to the end of the season, because Liverpool have not had a good season at all. Now, Bukayo Saka for the left winger, because he has been quite fabulous this season for his first season, where they've got new players such as Gabriel Jesus and Alexander Zinchenko. It's quite a strong team, this, but with Bukayo Saka on that left wing, it makes it even more impressive as a team. And Bukayo Saka is becoming a really young talent. He's a brilliant talent, and he will be great for England in the Euros in 2024. And I also think that he's a great footballer just on his own, and he'll continue to be a brilliant footballer for many more seasons to come. That's it, team of the season done. If you enjoyed that video, you know what to do, which means like and subscribe and turn post notifications on. My team will, of course, be different to other people's teams, but it will probably be very similar. If you enjoyed that video, you know what to do, which means like, subscribe, and turn post notifications on. And I will see you in the next video. Peace out.